It had been years since anyone had set foot in the abandoned flat on the floor of the old building. The residents of the building had long forgotten about the flat, and it had become nothing more than a haunting reminder of the past. One day, a young couple, Sarah and Michael, were looking for a new place to call home. They came across the old building and immediately fell in love with the charm of the architecture. As they were looking around the building, they saw the door to the abandoned flat and felt drawn to it. Despite the warnings from the other residents of the building, Sarah and Michael were determined to restore the flat and make it their own. They could see the potential in the spacious rooms and the beautiful views from the windows. As they started to renovate the flat, strange things began to happen. They would hear strange noises at night and things would move on their own. Sarah began to have nightmares about the previous owners of the flat, and Michael started to feel like he was being watched. One day, as they were stripping the wallpaper off the walls, they discovered a hidden room. The room was empty except for a small box that was covered in dust. Inside the box, they found an old diary belonging to the previous owner of the flat. As they started to read the diary, they discovered that the previous owner had been a recluse and had lived in the flat for many years. She had become obsessed with the idea of creating the perfect living space and had spent all her time and money on renovations. However, the renovations had taken their toll on her, and she had become increasingly paranoid and delusional. She started to believe that the flat was cursed and that the walls were closing in on her. Sarah and Michael started to realize that the strange occurrences in the flat were not just coincidences. They had unknowingly disturbed the spirit of the previous owner, and she was now seeking revenge. As they tried to leave the flat, they found that the doors and windows were locked from the outside. They were trapped and could hear the whispers of the previous owner echoing through the walls. They knew they had to find a way out before it was too late. They searched frantically for a way out, but the flat seemed to have no escape. As the night grew darker, the whispers grew louder, and the couple was enveloped in a world of fear and dread. In the end, Sarah and Michael were never seen again. The residents of the building knew what had happened, and they never spoke of the abandoned flat again. It remained untouched and empty, a haunting reminder of the horrors that lay within.